In today's video, I'm happy to introduce you to Wartales, a hidden gem with easily hundreds of hours of playtime. It's rapidly becoming one of my favorite games, and I guess the plus 90% positive reviews on Steam speak for themselves, but the team behind it, Shiro Games, is releasing one massive update after the other, which makes the game better and better. If you are a big fan of action-adventure games with a lot of planning and strategy involved, I am sure you will absolutely love Wartales. It combines the exploration and role-playing elements of games like Skyrim with in-depth, highly customizable turn-based combat like XCOM and Baldur's Gate. Without being too overcomplicated though, it makes up for epic adventures with endless replay value because of the brutal decisions you have to make all the time. It's not the first time we talk about it on the channel though. I already have plenty of content for it, while they added so many updates, so much new content since, so I can't wait to share everything you need to know about it. So let's get down to business. Before we get started, I quickly want to say that this video is not sponsored in any way. I just genuinely love Wartales. It's the most played game for me in 2023. And yeah, this is also the reason why I didn't upload in the past 2 weeks. My apologies, guys. I was just too busy exploring Wartales on the new extreme difficulty. But before we get ahead of ourselves with all the new content like helmets, new trade routes, dungeons to explore, let's focus on the basics. Wartales is an open-world RPG in which you lead a group of mercenaries in their search for wealth across a massive medieval universe. Explore the world, recruit companions, collect bounties, and unravel the secrets of the tombs of the ancients. So when you start a new game, you have to choose your destiny, a highly customizable menu basically where you will choose your starter crew. For example, young farmers looking for a better life, which allows you to start off with some bonus bread, so it's going to be easier to survive the first days, but they're going to be less happy. Maybe you want to start off wealthy as escorting merchants who lost their employer. Every composition will have different starter companions. We also have to choose some bonuses and penalties, which can make them stronger, but also a lot less powerful in certain situations. After that, you also have the exploration mode. Region locked gives you a more storyline based type of exploration, while adaptive allows you to freely roam in all the different regions available in the game, which I think is the most awesome one, as you can just make up your own storyline, do whatever you want. Different types of combat difficulty: novice, experienced, expert, and even extreme, which recently got added, something I've spent a lot of time on. You even have different save modes: limited, free, or Iron Man. Simply put, if you make the wrong decisions, you're gonna have to deal with the consequences. My hands-down favorite step of the game setup would be the customization of your crew. This is a menu where you can choose the gender and looks of your characters, which perks they start off with, and how to prepare you as good as possible for your first days of survival in Wartales. So here we have them: Aragorn, Yorex, Legolas, and Dirge. Remember the Skyrim assassin from the Thieves Guild? Anyways, I definitely don't recommend you to give your horse the drunkard trait, because then you're gonna have to provide alcohol during every rest. So once you step into the world of Wartales, you will find plenty of things in your surroundings. Resources which you can pick up for crafting, but also enemies and other groups of mercenaries you can interact with. During our first encounter, we have to deal with a small group of bandits, which already introduces you a little bit to the turn-based combat. After we've dealt with the bad guys, we can repair the damages done to our armor, and Dirge also leveled up. You can specialize your crew. For example, every time when this unit kills an enemy, I gain some valor points. The more you level up, the more customizable options you have, and trust me guys, there are a ton of possibilities, which you can, by the way, reset if you're not happy with them. Even horses can be customized, so they can also fight and wear armor. You're basically walking around with your crew. Every now and then you will pick up some resources, deal with some enemies, get your hands on some loot, and of course every now and then you will come across some points of interest. I visited Stromcap, which is the first big village in the game. This is where you can visit the market to get your hands on some nice resources. If you visit the inn, you can even talk to mercenaries, recruit them for your gang, let's say, make your party even more powerful. But of course, the more crew members you have, the more mouths you have to feed. So it's gonna be more difficult to manage all this at the same time. You have to pay the wages to your companions. You have to provide food during each rest. If you don't keep your companions happy, well, they will basically revolt and possibly leave your crew. Both crew management and timing are key factors in Wartales. If you mess up either one of these aspects, you're gonna have to deal with the consequences. And the higher the difficulty, the more brutal the consequences will be. Say you just resolved combat with a pack of boars. You dealt with every single one of them, but some of your crew members are injured. Others maybe have some dents in their armor. If you don't tend to the wounds, or if you don't repair the damage to your armor, well, the next encounter is gonna be a lot more difficult. This is your primary goal in Wartales: survive the harsh environment of this medieval world you're in. One of my hands-down favorite activities in Wartales would be the contracts, side missions or hustles you can pick up in every major town if you visit a tavern. These allow you to make a lot of money, so you can easier pay off the wages of your companions. Sometimes you have to assassinate crew members, or you have to deal with a rat infestation. There are even dungeons in this game, so you can go spelunking and find some rare antiquities which you can sell for even more gold. Wartales is filled with exploration, adventure, and all those RP elements. And what I think is awesome about the game is that it also comes with 10 professions to pick up, each with unique attribute bonuses, but also minigames. Of course, the basic ones like mining, cooking, fishing, and tinkering to upgrade your camp equipment, to also the bard, so you can make music in taverns, make a little bit of extra money, but you can even enhance the power of your weapons by adding oils to them. One I definitely recommend you to pick up as quick as possible though is the blacksmith, so you can constantly improve the power and defensive capabilities of your crew to survive any encounter. The combat in Wartales is no real-time action. It's turn-based strategy. While thinking about the next step I want to take, I can just walk to the fridge, grab another beer, and get back with my final decision. You basically see when you or the specific enemy character gets to play, just like in Baldur's Gate or XCOM, so you can already kind of prepare for what comes after. But the higher the difficulty, the more unpredictable the enemies become, the more perks or bonus powers they will have, which can sometimes be pretty surprising. They're gonna hit multiple times, or I don't know, crit you from behind. So this is why you want to take your time. Sit back, relax, grab yourself a nice snack during the encounters, because especially boss fights can be nerve-wracking. Something I absolutely love about these encounters is when you critically hit, absolutely destroy an enemy, you will get this kill cam. Oh man, it's so satisfying. But sometimes, unexpectedly, it can also happen against you. And then you just see one of your crew members get sent to Valhalla in a not so nice way. But there is more than that. If you face some bandits, some outlaws, you can even capture them, put them in chains, bring them to a prison, and get yourself a nice bonus. You, I think, by now already have a nice idea what Wartales is all about. But maybe you're still wondering if it's gonna be worth your time for a longer term, if it's gonna have a lot of replay value. I can easily say yes. This year alone, since the release, I've already clocked over 300 hours in Wartales. With the early access included, it's over 350. And if I look at my history from this year alone, I mean, every time when a new update releases, I just start playing, start a new save, and I play for hours and hours straight. It's really difficult to let go once you get into the game. I mean, you will have this feeling that you want to keep feeding your troops. You want to have all that money ready for the next day. So what I do is just constantly free roam, make my own adventure, my own story. You can try all sorts of compositions. Maybe go with a tank, an archer, a two-handed swordsman, and an axeman. Next time, I don't know, 4 archers maybe. I'm not saying that all of them are equally powerful, but they are interesting to say the least. Some of them are actually super viable even on the highest difficulties. So they're all worth giving a shot. If there was one thing I could say that's not fantastic about it, or think could use some improvements again, is the leveling. I mean, in the early stages, you will level up pretty fast, while the more you level up, at a certain point, it feels like it's going super slow. And then you will, especially on higher difficulties, encounter enemies on much higher level. They will also drop gear, which you cannot use. But again, you can craft your own weapons and armor. There are many different things how you can achieve greatness in Wartales. It is worth mentioning that this game is very similar to Skyrim, let's say progression-wise. Once you've finished a certain mission, it will be done. So at a certain point, you've been there and done that. But what's really nice about this is that some missions don't have one reward or outcome. They can have multiple rewards. So then if you basically chose reward A on your first playthrough, it's going to be interesting to maybe try out the second one in another. All the decisions you make can have an impact on your storyline. So maybe it's not gonna be interesting to help that prisoner to escape from prison. Just hypothetically be prepared for your story, as trust me, the replay value is there. So now you know that there is a massive world out there for you to explore with plenty of replay value. Before we wrap up this video though, I quickly want to say there is a lot of new content, which I am sure the returning players are going to find amazing. So since the release of Wartales 1.0, we have 2 community updates. The first one includes a new region, the Alizar region, which you can find in the northern part of the map with an entire new storyline. But yeah, they decided to add voiceover in the game from there, new content like new units and combat, a new battle arena in which you can fight bosses, snow wolves, bears, and even yetis can be found in this area. But they also increased the level cap of your characters, made enemies even more powerful, added new Tombs of the Ancients, a Rust, or the Roust tournaments basically, some kind of volleyball, which I really like. I mean, it's another mini-game introduced to the game. Earlier this month, they released another update, community update numero 2, also entirely for free. There is even a DLC coming later this year, a new layer of experience to Wartales for people who have basically already explored the game. So the new extreme difficulty, as well as the Arena of Legends, new trade route improvements, burglaries, and archaeology. My hands down favorite new addition to Wartales is extreme difficulty, which literally makes it hardcore. Everything becomes brutal. Units run away from combat will be lost forever, consequences of retreat are heavy, prison sentences are for life, the dying status of units will only happen with 15 willpower or above. So if you don't have that yet, your units will instantly die. The list goes on. If you want to experience the truest pain in Uranus, guys, this is it. Things can't get better than that, or well, they do, because you can customize your troop, add titles to it, you have recruitment ads, so you can even search for a specific crew member for your party, which wasn't possible in the past. This is another big feature, heavily requested by the community, now in the game. Very happy about it. We have companion interactions, so you can now dive deep into the relationships from one and another. You can improve your gear quality, have battle traps like pumpkins, literally throw them all your enemies, caravan attacks, more path challenges, etc, etc. Guys, if I somehow wasn't able to convince you to play Wartales, well, your loss. I'm gonna continue my adventure on extreme difficulty. And nice thing is, if you don't even own a PC, but do have a Switch, well, Wartales released on it earlier this month. Looking forward to make a video for that as well. Is it co-op or multiplayer? Yes, these are options as well. Well, I personally think Wartales is experienced best solo when you have all the time in the world to just take your time with those decisions. Ladies and gentlemen, a big thanks for watching. That's everything you need to know about Wartales. And again, hands down, one of my favorite games of all time. Shiro Games, thanks again for this masterpiece. Keep it up with the updates, the awesome content. Looking forward to everything you have in store for us towards the future. Any thoughts about the video, please do share them in the comments down below. I'd love to hear what you think of Wartales. If you're already an experienced extreme player, let's say, let us know your adventures in the comments as well. Right now, though, it is 4 AM out. A big thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. And yeah, I'll see you guys with more Wartales in the next one. Good luck on your adventures. Have an awesome day. Till next time. Peace.